going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger. We are back at you again today with another episode of This Week in Baseball. It's our weekly series here on YouTube where we talk about everything going on in Major League Baseball over some Diamond Dynasty gameplay. So let's jump right on into the news. Thursday night last week, shortly after I uploaded last week's episode, Jake Arrieta goes out and throws his second career no-hitter, and in Major League Baseball history, he has the third fewest starts between those no-hitters, which that number is 9. He is just great. We're going to go over this stat here that is just absolutely insane. Over his last 24 starts, he has a 20-1 record with a 0.86 ERA. Again, in that span, he's thrown 2 no-hitters. And guess what, guys? That one loss in the last 24 starts was against the Texas Rangers and Cole Hamels threw a no-hitter in that game. So you're telling me in the last 24 games, the only reason Jake Arrieta has lost a game is because the opposing pitcher threw a no-hitter as well. That stat is unbelievable. Right now, Jake Arrieta is the best pitcher in baseball, in my opinion. I know Clayton Kershaw has the overall resume. He's had a better career as of right now. But you got to give Arrieta his props. Right now, he's the best pitcher in baseball. Coming off a Cy Young a title, he's probably going to get it again. It's way early in the season, so I probably shouldn't even have said that. But if he keeps up this pace, more than likely he will. The Cubs are playing good baseball right now, and we will be going over the standings and league leaders and talk about the Cubs amongst some other teams. Chris Cabello from the Toronto Blue Jays suspended 80 games without pay after testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug. So I'm not sure what he was doing, but he was doing something that he shouldn't have been doing. He's out for 80 games right now. Somewhat of a big loss for the Blue Jays. I know he was a pretty good run producer for them, so we'll see how they handle that. We got to give a guy who I never would have thought I'd mention in one of these episodes ever, Tanner Roark from the Washington Nationals. They're getting some good pitching from him and Joe Ross, but Roark had a 15 strikeout win against the Twins. I believe the game was 2-0. Took him 7 innings to do that as well. That was back on Saturday. Pitched very, very well. He's had some other good outings, so we got to give him props. Also, Kenta Maeda, the outstanding rookie pitcher from the LA Dodgers, had another great game Saturday night against my Rockies. He didn't allow any runs. His ERA is like we'll go over it, but I think it's like a 0.54. Somehow they downgraded him in Diamond Dynasty a couple weeks ago. They gotta upgrade him. We'll see how he goes. I think he starts again tonight. I'm not sure of that, but if I do my math correctly, he should be starting today. So we'll see how he does. But he's pitching very, very well. The Atlanta Braves, what's going on with them? Now, this stat was as of Tuesday night, so I don't know what happened on Wednesday. But the Braves have gone 15 straight games without a home run. MLB's longest drought in 25 years. I know last I checked, which I think was as of Tuesday night as well, they've only had 3 home runs the entire season. So all you Braves fans out there, I feel bad for you. You guys are really, really struggling there. But that's just insane. Andrew McCutchen is not struggling to hit home runs. Matter of fact, he hit the same amount that the Braves have hit all season in one game. A couple nights ago, he had a 3 home run game. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. A 3 home run game against the Rockies. And McCutchen is the first Pirates player with multiple career 3 home run games since Willie Sturgill. Barry Bonds never did that with Pittsburgh. I got that from the Ace of Spades stats over on Twitter. Very, very informational Twitter account for stats. I suggest you guys go check it out. So the Pirates are a really good team. I was impressed watching them. They had a 4-game series with my Rockies this week. The 4th game, which is supposed to be this afternoon, was canceled due to bad weather. But those guys, I mean, I'm mentioning the home runs that McCutchen hit. But they don't really have a ton of home run hitters. But what they do have is a bunch of guys who can get on base and put the baseball in play. And, their pitching isn't as good as it was last year, at least not yet. But that's a really scary team, man, because if they can get on base and produce runs the way that they were doing against the Rockies, and I think they did it against the Diamondbacks as well. They had a pretty lengthy game that was in double digits over the weekend. But that team, go check out their on-base percentage. Guys like Josh Harrison, Francisco Cervelli, obviously McCutchen, Starling Marte, Gregory Polanco, John Jaso. That team really has a great group of hitters. Let's go over some of the league leading guys here. Now, 9 home runs for 4 people in the league right now. Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story both hit their 9th home runs last night against the Pirates. Wild game. Pirates were up 7-0. Rockies come back, tie it up 8 apiece, and then it went into extra innings. Eventually, the Pirates won that game 9-8, but it was a really crazy game. But also with 9 home runs, Bryce Harper, who we mentioned last week, was just on a tear, kind of cooled down from last week to this week, but he's still up there. And then Neil Walker, who I've mentioned last week. I think he's a guy that should get an upgrade in Diamond Dynasty really soon. 9 home runs. He is filling in for the void that Murphy left last year. Good pickup for them. And, obviously the Pirates aren't missing him too much, but still, that would be a guy that they probably certainly miss. Anthony Rizzo and Robinson Cano both have 8 home runs. Thought I mentioned that. In the RBI category, Robinson Cano has 24, Bryce Harper has 24, Anthony Rizzo with 22, Nolan Arenado with 20, and a bunch of guys with 19. Pitching-wise, a bunch of guys with great ERAs. We mentioned most of these people last week, but Jordan Zimmerman coming over from the Nats over to Detroit, 0.35 ERA. He is having an outstanding year right now. He's 4-0 in his starts. Kenta Maeda was 0.36, so I was wrong on that one. Matt Latos, 0.74. Hamill from the Cubs, 0.75, Arrieta, 0.87, and Stephen Wright, 1.37. We'll quickly go through the standings here. The Dodgers have the lead in the NL West, though the Giants are right behind them, a half a game. The Nationals are 14-6, leading the NL East, but the Mets have won 9 out of their last 10, 6 straight, 13-7 right now. A game back on the Nationals. The Cubs, 7-3 in their last 10. They lead the NL Central with a 15-5 record. The Orioles are struggling right now after starting 8-0. They are 12-8 now, still leading the AL East. AL Central, Chicago White Sox, winners 8 out of their last 10, 6 in a row, 16-6. Then have a 3.5 game lead on the Royals. And the Rangers, in a very tight division, have a 12-10 record leading the AL West. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out. Peace.